Hello and welcome to the rerun of my 5 offline tactics session that was originally delivered at COPA 2018. So we are talking about offline tactics that you can use to start filling your practice marketing funnel. I'm going to explain a little bit about what marketing funnels are before we get going, but initially I just want to tell you a really quick sort of bit of backstory to me really and why I am here delivering this session for you. So it's kind of very long sort of and quite dull story short. I worked in marketing and PR before I trained to be a podiatrist, and so when I started practicing as a podiatrist I realised very quickly that I had got a very distinct advantage over my competitors in that I understood what marketing was, I understood how it worked, and I knew what I could do in order to kind of raise my profile in the local area. And so I did quite well. And but sort of and I did that for 6 years. I also taught podiatry at Huddersfield University as lecturer, as well as dabbling a toe in the NHS water. So that was my sort of clinical background. I then married into the UK military, and being part of the military community and being a sort of HP type clinician is a very, very difficult sort of thing to juggle, and I realised very quickly it was not going to work for me. Being in private practice, being married into the military and moving house every 12 months wasn't working. So I had to come up with plan B, and my plan B eventually has got me to this point, and that is that I now deliver marketing training, marketing coaching for healthcare professionals who are in private practice. So I've put my clinical skill, my practice experience, my marketing and PR knowledge, and also I've done my master's degree is in training, adult training development. So I've put all 3 of those things together, and that is what I now do full time wherever we are in the world. So the internet is a marvellous thing. Anyway, so let's start talking about your offline tactics. Oh no. Quickly, if you want to get in touch with me, this is how you can do it. I am on social media all the time, and so if at any point you have a question about the material that I'm going to deliver for you, you can get in touch with me on any of these platforms, and I will be very happy to answer your questions if you so wish. Okay, so let's make a start. We're going to start by looking at the patient buying cycle. Now, I'm only showing you this because I want to put into context where your offline marketing and what the objective is for your offline marketing. And so we've got this cycle of 7 elements: know, like, trust, try, buy, repeat, and refer. And this is a cycle you want to take your potential patients through. So the first element is know. People have got to know you exist before they can do business with you. Yeah? Then this is the bit that an awful lot of practices miss out. People are going to decide whether they like you and whether they trust you before they go any further around that cycle. And quite often people have a big chunk of marketing missing that's not supporting those elements. Then they're going to try you out for size, try your knowledge, try some of your expertise, maybe via a video or an article you've written or something. Then they're going to make that buying decision. And then hopefully, if needed, they will repeat that buying process, and then they'll become a raving fan and they'll start referring people that they know into your practice. So that is the cycle that we are going to take these people through. So let's also, just by way of a bit more background, look at what we mean by a marketing funnel. So a funnel is a thing that starts at the top with an awful lot of people in, and then by the time you get to the bottom there's not quite so many people, but the people that you have got at the bottom of all of these processes are people who are ready to buy from you. They're keen, they know what you do, they're convinced that you're the person to help them. And so right at the top is this awareness, and this is like the know section of the cycle. This is where people are aware that you exist, and there's loads and loads of those people, okay, because you're putting out lots of messages offline and online. Then people decide whether they're interested in what you have to offer, and then they're going to make a decision Are they going to buy or are they not going to buy? And then they're going to take that action. That means they either pick up the phone, they walk in the practice, or they click book an online appointment. So that is what a marketing funnel looks like. Then in order to get to the bottom with as many people as possible that are relevant to you and your practice, you need to be putting an awful lot of people, I feel like the YMCA, an awful lot of people in to the top of your funnel. And so that is what we are going to be talking about, but in relation to offline marketing, is putting people into this funnel using offline marketing tactics. Now, basically, your objective is to become famous locally for the thing that you do. Okay, so whatever it is that you do, you need to be the answer to the question in your local area. Okay, you need to be owning those conversations. So if the conversation is back pain, you need to be the local answer if you're, looking after people with back pain, or foot pain, or running injuries, or support with mental health issues, or whatever it is, you need to be the answer in your local area. So getting famous is important. Now, the next thing you need to know before we start any of this is, who are your ideal or dream or A-list patients? Because if you are trying to market to everybody in your local area, you are marketing to nobody. People buy based an awful lot on emotion, and if you cannot connect with your patients emotionally with your marketing, you're not going to persuade them, or you're not going to persuade very many of them to pick up the phone, come and see you, etc. So in order to make your marketing more impactful and more relevant, you need to narrow down your target audience and find out who your ideal or dream patients are, because those are the ones you're going to sort of target your marketing at. And because also you don't want everybody as patients. You don't want everyone in your practice, because you'll have patients who bore the pants off you, you'll have patients who don't pay on time, you'll have patients who DNA all the time, you'll have patients who just moan and whinge every time they come, you'll have patients who are not compliant and won't do the self-care stuff that you ask them to do. There's an awful lot of people who could potentially put money in your pocket, but actually you do not want those kind of people in your practice, because they're going to sap your will to live, and they're going to make going to work every day less and less of a joy. So your job, as well as getting famous locally, is to get famous locally and get yourself in front of the people you do want to see in your practice, because those are your dream patients. And as very famous marketer Seth Godin says, if you are marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. And that's because you cannot make an emotional connection with everybody, probably unless it involves a puppy or something. So your tactics have got to connect with a specific cohort of patients. And those for you are your local community and a section of that local community. So whether it's runners, whether it's mums, whether it's people with specific pathologies, whether it's people who live in a specific area, whether it's people who do specific hobbies, but you need to start narrowing that down so that your marketing is going to hit home. Okay, let's start talking about our offline tactics. So offline tactic number one. Now this is really, really powerful. Excuse me, I've got a bit of frog in my throat. Okay, so offline tactic number one, you are going to nurture your existing patients. Existing patients are practiced gold dust. All right, it's always going to be much easier for you to attract new patients if you've got a team of people in your local area who are raving fans, who love what you do, and are telling all of their family and friends and colleagues and anybody they bump into at the bus stop about you. And so you need to wow your existing patients. I often in my presentations talk about magnolia because it's this very bland colour. It's the colour that they paint the inside of all army quarters, and it's very bland, it's very nondescript, it's not going to set the world on fire, it's very safe, and you do not want to be delivering a patient experience that is magnolia. You want to deliver something that really is wowing your existing patients, because then they're going to become so animated and so excited about telling other people about you and what you do. and they're going to start feeding people into the top of that funnel for you. So things like having really easy, effective processes to book an appointment, to buy products, to cancel an appointment, to change an appointment, to speak to somebody if you have an emergency, all of those kind of processes. If you nail those processes, people are going to love you. To have a physical, beautiful space. If you're not doing home visits, if you're actually operating within a clinical space, to make sure that is as beautiful and as lovely, as welcoming, as warm, as comfortable as it can be. Well-trained staff. One of the primary reasons people leave healthcare practices is because of people. Okay, so you must have well-trained staff who are going to understand the importance of these existing patients, are going to nurture them and make them feel valued and appreciated every single time they come into the practice. So well-trained staff is all part of that patient experience. And you're going to really look after these people. And I know that goes without saying, but often it's very easy to fall into a rut of a kind of sausage factory of getting people in, treating them, getting out the door, getting them in, getting them out the door. When in fact, if you make some little tweaks to how you treat those people and make them, as I say, feel really valued and cared for and part of something, part of your family almost, then they are really going to rave about you. And that is what you want to get them to fill the funnel on your behalf. Okay, offline tactic number 2. Give to your community. Give before you take. Okay, so we're nurturing our existing patients. They're inside the practice already. Before I go out into my local community and ask for business, I'm going to give first. Okay, so we're going to give to our local community, and you can do that in lots and lots of different ways. So you can donate prizes for raffles, and you can do this before people ask you. So if you know your local school has got a fete coming up, offer to donate a prize. If you know a local hospice is running a fundraiser, offer to donate a prize before you are asked, because that does 2 things. First of all, it gets you in the mix of the prizes, but 2, it makes you stand out amongst these organisations that you're talking to, and that counts for a lot in a local community because you're going and offering before you are asked. If you can do something that's very physical, so like this on the image here, it's a bucket with all sorts of wellness type products in it. It's a physical basket of goodies, and that is a great one because it's something very visual. That means you can take photographs of it. It's much better than an envelope with a gift certificate. By all means, put a gift certificate in the basket, but don't just give them a gift certificate, because that is a really easy, lazy way of donating a prize. You can do something that has a lot more presence to it. And as I say, donate the prize, take the photos of the prize you're donating, and really rave about it on your social media, because if you do that, you're going to kind of drive more traffic to the event. So that's exactly, you can help the organisers in that way as well, but give prizes. Number 2, how about organising a team event where you get your team together and you go and do a litter pick or something equally, community based. You could go and help volunteer at a local race. You could all be marshals at a local race or something, but get your team out into the community, visible. So get them in branded polo shirts so everybody can see, or branded fleeces or something if it's winter, but so everybody can see that this gang of people are from your business, are from your practice, and you are out there serving and supporting your local community. If you are going to do a litter pick, make sure you contact your local council, because there are a few health and safety things around that, but usually the council will provide you with high-vis vests, litter pickers, and a way of disposing of all of the litter that you pick up. The other way of giving to your local community is enabling your staff to have time off to volunteer. So one afternoon or a day, one afternoon, a month or a day, a quarter or something, give your team time away to actually go and volunteer in local organisations. And that is a great way of enabling your team members to get involved in projects, sort of passion projects of their own in their local community. But again, it's just a way of standing out from the crowd by supporting your local community. The other thing, if you're going to do any of this, is tell people. So tell your local paper, your local radio station, if you are organising an event like a litter pick. If your team are going out on a regular basis to volunteer, or you're donating to a one-off event, shout about it on social media, share your images, that kind of thing. Just don't, it's an offline event or an offline tactic, but you can cross over onto online to shout about it and promote it. Okay, offline tactic number 3, use your physical space. Now, I have to say a large number of opticians are getting very good at this. What I mean by your physical space is either your shop front, as you can see by these images on the slide, and your physical building. So you can do things like this picture at the bottom, really eye-catching, no pun intended, visual displays in your windows that are going to stop people in their tracks or get people talking, get people sharing images online, those kind of things. Your signage, which can be really evident, so the back pain centre, that is like really obvious what they do, and that's very evident on the high street. So window displays, back pain centre, you can do things like putting A-frames outside of your building, but again you must get council approval to do that because you could be blocking a footpath or something. If you haven't got a physical space that you can use to raise awareness in your local area, this tactic top left is a really fun one that you can do, and you know, you could just take a prop that is something to do with your practice and go out into your local community. Now, 2 things happen. First of all, you're taking these pictures to share digitally, so that's an offline tactic going online, but you can run a little competition. So where is, you know, this skeleton Sydney, where is he today, and take pictures of your prop in front of local landmarks, so people start to make that connection that you're a local business. Run it as a competition so people start engaging, but also what happens is if you're out and about with a skeleton, you are going to attract a reasonable amount of attention, and if your skeleton is branded, or if you are wearing branded t-shirt, sweatshirt, whatever, people are going to start to see you and start making those connections that you're having a bit of fun, you're out in your local community, and you know, that will start to give you some traction. If you see people, if you do this and you see people out and about looking at you, invite them to come over and start a conversation. You know, ask them if they would like, you know, can we take a selfie with you, with the skeleton and me, or my leg and me, or my, you know, whatever it is you're out and about with, and you will start to gain some traction locally. People will start to get to know you. Remember, go right back to the top of that patient cycle. No, people have to know you exist before they can start doing any other kind of business with you. Okay, so that is offline tactic number 3. Offline tactic number 4. This is a bit bigger, but could you hold a big event? Now, I don't mean like Glastonbury. I don't mean something ridiculously massive, but I mean something bigger than just having an open day at your practice, unless you've got a big practice. But things like, because, okay, so let's talk about who you're going to invite to this event, and then that might give you some ideas of the kind of stuff you can do. So I want you to think about inviting existing patients, their family and friends, your team, their family and friends, your referrers, their family and friends, your suppliers, family and friends, any local contacts, other associated businesses. So if you're in healthcare, maybe personal trainers or other AHPs or other health practitioners in any way at all, invite them along. And the idea is you're going to have some fun. Now, whether you organise a massive group ticket for everybody to go to the zoo, or whether you host something at a big event that's already happening, so you get a group of tickets for a big event that's already happening in your local area and you have a kind of a penned off area that you can brand, or whether you just decide you could host a big picnic in the local park and lay on some food. You know, if you put about £2,000 into this event, you could get an awful lot of revenue, sort of return on that investment. Because what you're going to do is you're going to invite all of these people along. You're going to make sure that there's something happening that they can get involved with. You're going to sort of be present on the day, so you're going to be branded up, you're going to be walking around chatting to people, are you having a good time, hope this is okay, come and have some more food here, have some more squash or whatever, get them involved, sort of hosting the event. But you're also going to go to this event with an offer of your services. And what I mean by that is you're going to go with up your sleeve on the day an offer you can make to all of these people to come and try out your services in the practice. And that could be an offer that gives them a big kind of discount. I'm not a big fan of discounting, but I know some people like to do that. Big discount off a particular service. It could be a free mini something you're offering. It could be a normal package but with some extras added in for free. But you need to go to this event with up your sleeve an offer, and on the day you're going to get in front of all of these people and you're going to say, first of all, thank you so much for coming. I hope you're enjoying the day. This day is to say thank you to everybody who supports us in the local community. We've been in business now for X number of years and we couldn't be doing this without your support. So this is to say thank you to you. But as an extra special thank you to you for showing up today, I would like to make you this offer. If any of you at all are struggling with X, Y or Z and you would like to come and see us in your practice, because you are here today, I would like to provide you with this special offer. And you tell them what the offer is, you tell them a code that they need to mention when they come to book their appointment, and so you can track people coming through who are from this event. Okay, obviously at the end of the event afterwards, if you've collated contact details as people have arrived, or you've checked them off the checklist so you know who came, you could email everybody who came and reiterate the offer and say, as a result of being there on the day, I just want to make sure you've got the details of the offer. Here it is, here's the code you need to quote, here's a link where you can go and book your appointment. So that is offline tactic number 4. Offline tactic number 5, ooh, this is a good one. Use your business cards. Now, what I want to stress here is that what I mean by use your business cards is that you're not just going to give them to people randomly that you kind of see or bump into, okay? You're going to have a strategy for using your business cards. And the first thing you're going to do is make sure that your business cards are fit for purpose. Now, I know an awful lot of health practices have sort of like the contact details on one side, so address, email, phone number, and probably the name of the practitioner and like a million initials after their name. And then on the other side, they have, I don't know why I'm doing that because there isn't a card in my hand, but anyway, on the other side, they have appointments where patients can write their appointments. That is not a business card that is going to work as a marketing tool. That is a patient appointment card, okay? The two are different. So if that is the setup you currently have, carry on with that, but those are what you give your patients. Those are not what you use to market your business, okay? What you're going to use to market your business are going to be much more strategically produced. So you're going to use both sides, but both sides are going to contain content that is going to engage people that you give them to. So you need to use both sides for promotion. You need to tell people on this card, you need to tell people what you do, not what qualifications you have. People don't care. I hate to say that because I know we've all worked really, really hard to get our professional qualifications, but people don't care. People care that you can help them. That is fundamentally their number one. What can you do for me? Okay, so on your business card, you want to be telling people how you help, okay? Don't need to know your qualifications. We don't need to know your address. We need some way to connect with you, but we don't need to know your address. You can use a picture of you or your team, so people remember who you are when they see it. If you are doing some local community outreach and giving, you could put that on there as well, proud supporters of, or participants in, or something like that, so people get the feel for the values that you have in your business and that you're supporting local community. By the way, you don't have to do all of this, but you need to make sure that both sides of your business card are full of promotional type content. You could mention any business awards that you've won. You could include a call to action. So if you've given somebody a business card, what do you want them to do as a result of you giving them that business card? Do you want them to go to your website? Tell them, come to our website and see blah, blah, blah. Or do you want them to pick up the phone? Do you want them to drop in and have a cup of tea with you? It's up to you, okay? If you've got space and the inclination, you could include a patient testimonial. People are really keen nowadays to get evidence and proof that you can do what you do, and that's social proof coming from other people. Can make it trackable, so you could include a code or a QR code or an actual reference number that they can quote if they book an appointment, so you know where they've found you. You can make them collectible. So lots of printing companies now, like Moo, offer a service where you can have one side the same. So that could have your photo, your contact details, maybe a patient testimonial, but then on the other side you could have different information. So you could have 5 different designs, all with different information. So you kind of make them collectible. This is, one of 5. But please, whatever you do, keep it up to date. I presented a lot of conferences, and at every conference I present at, I invite people to come and join my free Facebook group for healthcare practitioners who want to learn more about marketing. And the number of times, and I ask them to do that by giving me their business card, and the number of times I get business cards that have phone numbers crossed out, emails crossed out, or even emails written in because they don't have an email on their business card. So, so make sure you keep your business cards up to date as well. So that is what you are going to put on your card. Now, if you want more inspiration, I absolutely recommend you search Pinterest for creative business cards, and that will give you so many ideas. Okay, so this is just to get you started, but get creative, make them your own, make them something very unique to you and your practice. Whatever you do, do not have magnolia business cards. These need to stand out, okay? So then what on earth do you do with these cards? You can leave them in restaurants when you leave a tip. You should attach them to every single letter that you send out in the post. I know we don't send that many out now, but when you are sending any letters out, either referral letters or thank you letters to mass referrers, or you're writing to somebody to pitch an idea for an article or something, always attach your business card. Remember, this is a business card made for marketing. This is not a standard business card that just has your contact details on. This is a made for marketing business card. The two are very different. This is going to work for you, okay, to promote your business and your practice and what you do and how you help people. You could go into your local library and you can look out some books that are relevant to the pathologies you treat. This is a really cool idea. Look in local libraries, pick out the books that are relevant to the pathologies you treat or the kind of patients you treat. So learn to run or yoga or if you're looking for children, to have children as patients in your practice, specialising in pediatrics in some way, look for books that are all about being a good parent and that kind of thing, and put your business cards inside those books. Okay, so when people open them, your business card's going to drop out. Think about public pin boards so that you can go, you see them in shops and post offices and what have you. If that is not aligned to your business kind of value set or the brand that you want to portray, then don't do it. Do none of these if none of these feel a good fit. But if they feel a good fit, then absolutely go and do these. Fishbowl competitions, you see in loads of other local businesses that have shop fronts. A fishbowl, put your business card in, we'll pull you out and the winner wins something. Put your business card in there, tell other local businesses about you, because remember, this card is not a contact me card. This is a let me inform you and educate you about what I do in my business and what my patients think of me card. Okay, it's very different. Give your business cards to your team. Okay, this is a practice promotion. This is not contact me, here's my name and my details. This is a practice promotion card. So give your team lots and lots of these cards and get them to do all this stuff as well with their cards. Obviously, if you go to any networking events, take these cards with you and exchange cards like you would routinely, which is where most people use their business cards. Use your business cards in a referral system. So if you have got 3 or 4 other local businesses that are kind of affiliated, so where there is a very clear overlap of clientele and patients, so maybe beauty therapy, personal trainers, other AHPs, those kind of people. If you've got 3 or 4 of you in a network and you're all cross-referring patients, make sure the people who are cross-referring to you have got a supply of cards so they can give them out to those people who they're referring to you. And also, this is a great one, contact your local letting agent, because often letting agents put packs together, welcome to X, Y and Z. And if they're still using a physical pack in a new premises, you can absolutely get them to put your business card into those packs so people moving into the area get to know you exist. Okay, so that is offline tactic number 5. So, hands up, who has got any questions? If you have got any questions at all as a result of watching this video and you want to get in touch with me to ask questions, if you come along to Practice Momentum on Facebook, if you just search on Facebook for Practice Momentum, you will find my page, Practice Momentum page, and associated with that page is a group, Practice Momentum group. If you've got any questions, ask to join that group. I'll let you in and you can ask your questions inside that group, and that way you can learn and other people inside the Practice Momentum family can learn as well. So I hope you found that useful. I hope that's given you some insight into how you can start feeding people into your marketing funnel using some offline tactics. As I say, any questions at all, search out Practice Momentum on Facebook, come and join the group, and I will very, very happily answer your questions inside the group. Thank you very much for your time.